Shit, what's this podcast called?
Discourse of Human Events.
The discourse is just crazy.
Everything's okay, I'm just trying to act my age. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. I wanna look and feel years younger, baby. I wanna look and feel years.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Dildos.
So we have to talk about the obvious and most recent news of course.
Mm-hmm.
Why do hot dogs come in a pack of 10 and buns in a pack of 8?
Oh shit.
Why?
I think you just found the problem.
Oh, that and Louis C.K.'s wiener.
I think...
I'm not that surprised by him.
Yeah, it really isn't that shocking.
He
But-
just
but
seemed
we're
like the kind of
talking
guy
about
that
hot
would
dogs.
do that.
But we're talking about hot dogs. Please talk about hot dogs.
His hot
wiener.
dog.
It's a crime.
We're talking about a
to
hot
have
dog.
10 hot dogs and 8 buns. What are you gonna do with the rest too, Nick? What are you gonna
It
do?
really is a... You have to buy basically... What would be the ratio? What would that equal out to? Like, so you'd have to buy 40? You'd get...
I'm sorry, it's 8 and 10?
Yeah, you'd have to go to 40
Yeah.
Yeah.
to have an equal.
It's
like,
all a conspiracy by Big Bun.
by Big Bun. That big company, Big Bun.
It's terrible.
J-Lo runs it.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's also just weird because it's like Louis C.K. So if I get the story right, he asked permission for all the women to just jerk off in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
But he's kind of using his position of power to where it's like you can't really say no type thing.
Yeah, I mean, like every news story I comment on, I have read practically none of the details. But my impression is he didn't wait for a yes, but well, it's coming out.
Alrighty.
Like, I'm processing the situation right now.
Didn't hear a no.
That's not a no, technically.
But the big question is, so he just showed his dick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing else?
He jacked it. He jacked
Yeah,
off.
he jerked off in front of him.
Okay. That's
is-
so different.
You know what is really surprising? Not only did I not think this was a common sexual harassment, I didn't even think this was a thing. Like, that's how someone would, like, hey, baby, watch me jerk it off. Like, I don't even know, like, I don't know what you get out of that.
You don't have that compulsion?
No!
Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
I
so it's not
fucking-
just that.
Man,
it
I
exists.
just walk down the boulevard and I'm just like, I gotta whip this out
Just
and
ready
start
to jerk
jacking
it.
It's that it's common, because Weinstein did the exact same thing. He wanted women
Oh,
to
really?
watch him jerk it.
Dude, what is wrong with
There
men?
must be a big...
You know?
No, not men, because I didn't even know this was a thing, let alone common.
Alright, fine.
If I'm
you
going to
know.
sexually harass a woman, I'm going to grab some tits and ass.
See,
all right?
there's
I'm
a
normal.
difference, right?
That's fair. That's
People pay online to see women masturbate.
Yeah.
fair. People pay good money to see Louis C.K. jack off. I'd pay
Yeah, he
good
could've
money
gotten
for
some
that.
money.
But it's just because he's famous, right?
Yeah, I guess.
It's like, okay, if despite his being famous or being a comedian, you know, if despite those factors, would you see him jerking off?
I wouldn't personally see him jerk off. Zach would, apparently.
Some
I would,
random
yes, some women would
old
probably like to
man,
watch him
bald,
jerk off.
not so attractive, and just say like, hey, would you pay $1 to see me jerking off? Fuck no. Nobody wants to see that.
Not really.
Exactly, right? So, I mean, it's a difference. Women
Yeah.
don't want jerk off or do whatever in front of other people unless they're being paid to, some of them, right? And the men are willing to jerk off in front of other people even they are not being compensated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the intention was different.
It's a bit of supply and demand. There's a lot of guys that'll be like, yeah, I'll jerk off in front of you, and then they're just nobody wants it.
I don't know.
Did he finish?
I wish they had that detail. I assume so.
Man, asking an important question here.
Where did he finish? Like, on the person?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's got to be a really awkward situation.
Like, on the floor?
That's
Yeah,
pretty
I
gross,
think that's
man.
why it has to be a power move. Like, did you jack off onto the girl? It's definitely a power move then.
You know what I really wonder? Like, at some point, it's even if it was onto the floor, it's on his hands. Like, does he just wipe it? I mean, that's got to be the most awkward moment is when you're done.
Right? Like, well, that happened.
Well, because then, like, you're not horny anymore at all, you know?
You come to and you're like, ooh, whoops.
Yeah, you're like, why did I make this decision?
That's a terrible decision.
And you're like, oh, yeah, my
Oh.
brain's back to normal, like the pre-horny level, and I realize what a mistake I've made, but I gotta play it off like it's all normal. Probably just wiped it on his jeans, and like, I hope no one notices that later.
Yeah, this is a really good detail I need to know. Like, I want to hear how it all went down because I don't know how you approach that situation in life.
Yeah.
Maybe he just always had a towel handy because he was into it.
People would be wondering, why are you carrying the towel? You know.
Well, it had to
That's
be
my
a big
jack-off
towel. It could be like a
have
towel
to
in
carry
his
it with
pocket.
me. Just like some people carry their wallet with them. You know, it's everyday stuff.
I mean, he always wears a black
You
shirt.
know what? I admit, I have a cum towel just in my back pocket every day.
It's like your hanky.
No
You
wonder
never
it
know.
smell great.
Yeah, you know, everybody carries those people that carry around a hanky. He's
Yeah.
the same. He just comes into it and sneezes.
Yeah, I got
into
one
it.
for my nose, one for my dick. It's perfect
Yeah.
sense.
You don't mix the two?
With how clumsy that I saw you.
Ooh.
I wouldn't even want to begin to.
What else is going on in the news today?
News,
I don't
news.
know.
Who else
That's-
is jerking off?
That's
I'm at the
I don't
point
know.
where
apparently
Every day
Hollywood.
there's-
yeah, I think
Hollywood's
they should
jerking
just
off.
come out and have press releases about who is not sexually assaulting people.
Yeah, you should totally have a special subreddit.
Yeah.
It was funny. Reddit had like a picture of like Matt Stone and Trey Parker, and like still no scandal, like because they've made such a crazy and ridiculous show over all these years, but there's never been a
yeah.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker scandal.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess Louis C.K. was also pretty dirty at times. But I was like, they have an outlet for their weirdness.
Yeah,
I guess he does too.
He did too.
Yeah.
I think the difference though is they were also purposely weird outside of like their show, like going to the Emmys or whatever, high on acid and in dresses. Like
Yeah, did
at
you
that
know that,
point,
Chloe?
what can
What?
you
You
do?
know Trey Parker and Matt Stone?
Yeah.
The guys that created South Park.
Yeah, I know.
So when they made the movie South Park, they didn't have dates.
They got nominated.
Yeah, they didn't have
Well, let me
dates
rephrase that. One of
to the
them got
Oscars.
nominated.
And everyone is always asking about wearing dresses to the Oscars. Like, there's the red carpet, and all the women actresses will get, talked to about who designed their dress, blah, blah, blah. That's one of the big things. So they wore dresses.
And the funniest thing is they refuse to acknowledge the dresses. So anytime they ask them about the dresses, they're just like, "Oh, it's a great night. It's a magical night. It's a wonderful night." Like in all their interviews, they don't say anything about their dresses.
Bitch, I'm fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
But the craziest thing is going to the Oscars on acid. Like,
Did they do that at the same time, or was that a
Intense.
different one?
no, that was the same time.
Same one. Okay, they
Trey
dropped
Parker?
acid,
Yeah.
too.
Oh, wow.
If you hear them talk,
Buzz.
like interview about it, they talk about how they actually chickened out and were going to wear the tuxes because they bought tuxes and they had the dresses because they knew they were going
Yeah.
to chicken out. But they decided to take the acid before they went, and after they took the acid, they ended up wearing the dresses.
See, problem solved.
Yeah. Man, that's tough to go to, like, a place with that many people and be high on acid, but I guess they said they didn't take too much, so.
Well, they certainly take enough to wear the dress.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
And they also talk about the hardest part about, like, an acid trip. The thing that makes it, like, the most anxious usually is transitioning. So when you go from, like, inside to outside or something like that. So they're talking about how crazy it was when they went from the inside of their limbo on the way there to the outside with all these cameras taking pictures and everything. That would be crazy when you're tripping balls. And then they said the worst part is they actually came down on acid during the Oscars, and the Oscars is fucking boring. So they're like, shit, we're stuck here while we're coming down on acid.
Did they win?
No, they did not win.
They won a Grammy, not an Oscar.
I think later on they have won Emmys.
Okay.
No, the Oscars. They only made the one movie.
Well, I don't know.
I don't think they won any other Oscars. I think they won a Grammy because it was a musical and they had a bunch of songs.
No,
but it would have been really interesting to hear their speech on acid.
Did they won Tony?
I think they may have won a Tony for the one.
Did they win an Oscar for Team America? Maybe.
No, I don't think that was.
That's a Class C.
Yeah.
Well,
Oscar.
they were both for songs though.
Oh, okay. I have no idea.
So that's why I thought maybe they won an Oscar for it.
Not sure. How many Oscar movie that you actually
Wow, they
enjoyed?
actually were nominated. They had 11 nominations for Bigger, Longer, Uncut. I didn't know that. I thought it was just one.
Guys, how many Oscar movie that you actually enjoyed watching?
South Park was one of them. No, some, but usually the winners are not the best.
Huh.
Like, the winner of, like, the best picture is usually not that great of a picture. Some of the nominees are good. A lot of the nominees are good.
Yeah, all they've been nominated for was that.
Yeah,
for
like
best
that
music
the
and
movie
original
Artist.
song.
I mean...
Yeah, very forgettable. I
It's-
barely remember what happened in that movie. It was black and white.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
movie?
And the
Artist?
I don't know what
And
that
I
is.
think, like, his house burned down or something. I watched it. It was so
Artist.
inconsequential to my life, I completely
Is this
forgot
a
everything
new
that happened.
movie?
No, it's...
No, it won like
back
5
in-
years ago, maybe.
I don't think it's 5 years. It's some time ago, right?
Yeah.
So basically
Why
a
is there a black and
male
white
actor
movie?
become famous, and then he has a fan, and yada yada yada.
I don't remember the plot. It was like a movie taking place during the silent era?
It's a Weinstein movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I was like, that movie, it's not bad because, like, most people haven't seen the black and white movies for a long time, so it's good for a change.
I literally
But-
have never heard it or seen this movie.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
it won
But
an
that's
Oscar.
not worth
like
your
after
time,
you
honestly.
watch it, you're like,
Doesn't
the
seem like
story
it.
seems pretty weak. The acting was
Yeah.
good, but then again, like, I don't know what's the criteria for Oscar.
That's my metric. If I
gotta
remember
be the fancy, pantsy,
even the
artsy,
Vegas
fartsy
details of a movie, like, it must have been pretty good. Like the general outline, I can tell you of good movies or scenes, particular scenes. But after like 5 years, and like, I know I watched it, but I couldn't tell you what the fuck happened in it at all.
Yeah.
I forgot it for a reason because it wasn't.
You have to
good
be a
enough to
pretty good
remember.
movie after 5 years to be remembered.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have
I don't know,
something
it has to
memorable.
be based on a pretty good story. I think that's one of the hard parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to affect you in some way for you to remember things about
Yeah.
it.
Like,
which makes it good art.
You know what I also didn't think was good? Argo. That movie won. I thought that was like...
I thought Argo was good.
It wasn't bad. It was competent. But great. Like, one
I
of the
think
best
it was
of the
also
year
because
like,
I knew nothing about that story before that, so
yeah,
that was
and
pretty
no,
neat.
But it's like, I don't know. The whole, like, oh, it's so amazing that we did it sequence after they escaped was a little corny.
I mean, I
And-
feel like it's just
There's
another
only
you
so much
remember it.
commercial movie.
No,
You
I
remember
remember
it.
it because I laughed at how silly it was.
You're silly.
And I don't know. There's only so much
other
excitement
than
you
that,
can have.
the
I thought it was
story
good.
is about the current event. That movie isn't particularly good, right? It just feels like another David Finch movie.
Which movie?
I always think of him as a good director is able to make a commercial movie to be somewhat tasteful to the broad audience.
Okay.
He made
David
Social
Finch make
Network.
that movie?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was
I generally
Ben
like
Affleck.
Fincher. Yeah,
Oh,
Argo was
yeah.
Affleck.
Yeah. I don't know his style of directing or stuff. He doesn't
You
have
know,
He
he
a
made
made
The
a
Town.
personal-
The Town was awesome.
The Town was okay. What was the Gone Baby Gone was
Well,
good.
The Town
he,
was
he directed
awesome.
that, I think. Nah, The Town was alright.
Didn't watch that. Was it good?
I particularly like heist movies, though, so...
Nah, I thought that
The-
Town...
they
Again,
automatically
I don't
get
remember
bumped
that
up
that
a
well
little
either,
bit.
so I assume it probably wasn't that great. You know what I remember about The
remember
Town
the
is how
heist
everyone
movies.
complained was that in Boston, the traffic would never be as good as he got it when he was doing the
Who
heist.
are you kidding?
Like, are you serious? No. He would have just been driving away right to traffic and would have got caught immediately.
Dude, it's just like seeing the empty 101 on the weekday.
You know what heist movie I always do remember, because it's so damn good?
No.
Inside Man.
I vaguely remember. No, I didn't think... You know what one I think is
What?
better? No.
Inside Man is amazing. The concept behind that fact that they basically rob a bank, but leave all the money there, and the way
is that what they did?
he
I
stays
watched this.
there.
I didn't remember that part. I remember
So
it was some clever thing like Ocean's 11 or something.
So
Like, there's a
yes,
big
there
reveal.
was the owner of the bank basically had an old Nazi memorabilia stuff, and
Okay.
he had documents, and that's how he got rich. Is during World War II with the Nazis and stuff, he exploited that time to become rich, and so they got documents that was hidden in a lockbox
Uh-huh.
Okay.
that wasn't listed, so there was no record of it existing because it had all this Nazi-related things in it. So they robbed the bank with this.
Uh-huh.
And the way they got away with it is they literally built like a wall in the closet for this guy to hide in for 2 weeks. So they built like a wall for him to hide in, and they kind of stopped looking for people after 2 weeks because they literally leave the safe open with all the money there. That was a genius movie.
I didn't even remember that twist, but I believe you.
Especially the idea of hiding. The reason it's called Inside Man in the end is because he literally lives inside the wall for 2 weeks while they wait for everything to calm down.
That'd be a really boring 2 weeks.
Yes.
You know
yes,
what?
it
I want to
would.
see the movie of that guy just living there for 2 weeks.
You
Live
know what?
streaming.
I wonder if it's actually possible to do that.
How do you deal with, say, like you need to go to the bathroom?
Yeah,
They
smell them.
they tackled that in there.
Did they?
In the movie, yeah.
Man,
I
see,
forget
I
how they
totally
did it, but
forgot
they did
this.
tackle it. Really?
Yeah. No, I always thought the best heist movie was Heat.
Now that's what I was about to ask. Is that the one where they robbed the truck, the armored truck?
In the opening, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that is a good
Heat
one.
was the best heist movie. Now that's memorable.
That
How
is
can it
pretty good.
not be memorable with De Niro and Pacino?
Yeah, it was good.
You gotta watch Heat with
I
me
have to
sometime.
rewatch
Wow.
it because it's been so long, though. That one's probably been over a decade since I've seen it. But I do always remember that robbing the armored truck, because they put a truck in front of it and a truck behind it, so it has nowhere to go.
Yeah, here's what I liked about Heat. It was
Oh, I
very
remember
realistic. I could see everything in Heat actually happening. I'm betting if I watched Inside Man, it seemed like it's like the level of unrealism where technically realistic, but
It's-
I mean you
it's
can tell it was
realistic.
shopped in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know,
The only thing that makes it unrealistic is the idea of the whole movie only works because of the whole Nazi story background and the fact that they have something else to rob that nobody would know about. That's worth something.
I see.
I think in the thing they robbed, there was like a bag of diamonds too, and so it wasn't just like these documents. I'm trying to think of what other heist movie there is that was really good. I remember on our recommendation episode, I recommended Kill Point. That is a great one.
Oh yeah, I did not forget that. I do remember bits and pieces.
What?
Yeah,
So it
because it
can't
was
be
so
that
good.
bad.
It was so good.
What?
I also like that as
Kill
a
Point,
miniseries
it's
too.
another heist movie. I remember it took place in Pittsburgh for some reason.
Yeah, and it was
'Cause
about.
I think it was just because it was like almost all of them are either like New York City or L.A. Basically.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
true.
like that it was somewhere outside of like where almost every fucking movie takes
Yeah.
place.
And it was kind of cool because it was about like Iraqi veterans,
Mm.
the Iraq war vets, needing
Okay.
money.
Mm.
No.
And since it was a mini series, they could kind of actually develop characters a little more.
Mm.
I kind of want a Netflix heist series. Like, not an Ocean's 11 BS one, but more like bank robbers or something.
You know what I want? I want some real people to pull off some heists. And then just have some good documentaries about how awesomely they pulled off a heist. You know, you go back
movie about
150
D.B. Cooper?
years, there was really Jesse the James, right? Like, really doing this shit.
D.B.
Now we
Cooper,
just
man.
make movies about it.
Yeah.
It's all based on him, huh?
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, it doesn't really happen anymore today. Like, if you
It's
tried to,
just-
like, rob
yeah.
a bank, you'd get, like,
Yeah.
10 grand, and it'd be like, most of it's just virtual on a computer. Like, we don't carry that much cash.
We don't actually have that much money on us.
Yeah.
That's probably the
I
point.
can
It's not
credit
really
your
worth the
account,
risk.
I guess.
Oh no, that's
I could
why
credit
the
your
new
But
account.
we'll deduct it immediately.
the new type of heist, like
Uh-huh.
trying to cook the book, those kind of movie are slowly getting more interesting.
Yeah, but you like, it's
It
hard.
doesn't
Like,
have that kind of conflict of a stress level.
yeah.
So the problem now is to rob a bank, you would have to have like a money transfer wired to you, basically, right? Like digital bank robbing
It's
is
hard to not have it traceable.
more effective.
You
But you
know what
could
they do now?
Bitcoin.
Huh.
Yeah. So there are actual Bitcoin scams where basically they
That's
will
young love.
encrypt a bunch of data that, like, they did this to a hospital.
Huh.
They encrypted all of its data, and they said, we'll give you the key to unlock it if you send us a bunch of Bitcoin. They do, and then they give them the key to encrypt it.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that, like, you can't actually trace. There's no central authority. Like,
Yeah.
the hard part about all these movies where they go to the bank and there's, like, some transfer, like, a bank knows, like, there's not that many bank accounts you can have where you don't have to
Even
give
if
them
you
your
do,
fucking
like-
name. You
even
have
if
to
you do,
say,
like, a
here's who I
Swedish-
am.
Isn't that the whole like get a Swiss bank account or whatever?
Yeah, that's
and then
the thing.
transfer it to something
That's why
else?
Swiss banks accounts are always big, because I think you only need a number. But I wonder what happens if you don't remember your number. There's got to be some backup plan.
Probably is.
Maybe there
They
is
could have some
and
sort
that's-
of like a trustee
don't know.
or
And even then, I don't know if that's still a big thing anymore. If they've poked holes in that, and you can't really get a Swiss bank account that's just a number.
like
anymore.
what the movies call a Swiss bank account nowadays doesn't really exist.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's quite as.
it used to be a big thing. Whereas they
Yeah.
launder the money. Now it's Panama paper.
Anyhow,
I don't know. It seems like it's been a while since any kind of good heist movie came out, though. And I love heist stuff.
all the good ideas are taken.
Like, but it doesn't matter. Like, even if you did almost the exact same thing as Heat, like robbing people, all you need is people getting together to rob something. It doesn't have to be anything special. It's still entertaining.
Dude,
you know another.
you know
good
what
one?
they need
Set
to
it
do?
off.
Oh man, I don't. That movie was way back, like 90s.
But you remember it, don't you?
You know what you need to get a heist movie made today? It needs
What?
to be a superhero doing the heist.
Dude.
Or a supervillain and a superhero has to stop him.
Or honestly, you know what would be interesting? A heist movie of like a technical era, like nerds pulling off heists.
They did that though.
Bitcoin
Remember
robbery.
Swordfish?
Yeah, but like a more realistic version.
Oh, this is one of those great hacker movies where it was so realistic. It was terrible. But one of the things was he had to hack it while he got a blowjob.
I think I watched that one, actually. It was so ridiculous.
It's kind of like
I
the
don't know,
movie
man.
Hackers, where it's like not realistic,
I
but
can't
kind of
even
a
think
good
about
movie if
logically
you
when
get
I'm
past
remotely
the ridiculous.
distracted.
Yeah. More
I
realistic. I'm gonna hack it while I eat a lot of Cheetos.
But it was still like the actual hacking was outrageous. Like,
Oh yeah, it was complete
So
nonsense. Complete fucking nonsense.
they had like these crazy visuals
Right.
of them going into
Oh,
the
yeah.
internet and hacking their system.
Dude, you know how much money they would have to pay extra in order to get that visual done? So many people just have a central system like, yep, that's a command line, that's all we can
And be-
afford.
You better be careful too, because Penn Gillette's on the other side.
Oh
He's a
yeah,
security
I'm not
guard.
hackers.
Oh my god. Yeah, it actually happens in lots of like cheesy TV shows. Like, oh, let's hack into this government organization so it's a beautiful visual. It looks super cool.
Hack into
And
the
in the end,
mainframe.
You know what database looks like, right?
Yeah.
It's your
Just
good
your
old
text.
Windows 98 look.
It's
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's a gray 3D button. You click.
Oh my
You
god.
sort.
Oh, what was the Mr. Robot was kind of a more.
I started
modern-
watching that. I didn't finish it. It was good though. I don't know why I stopped.
Yeah, it's really good.
Did you watch all of it?
2 seasons of it, I believe.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I go back. That's actually supposed to be realistic. All their hacking is actual real.
Yeah.
What?
Like-
The only problem I
What?
had with it was the ending was kind of predictable, in my opinion. But I don't know. It was,
I don't
it was
know.
good,
What
but
kind,
I think that would
what
be.
kind of hacking do you think is like realistic?
Like honestly, most of it's social, or just doing
Yeah.
port scans, finding known 0 days and exploiting 0 days.
Yeah, so see, that would
Or-
be cool. It'd be like
or
a Catch Me If You
see a
Can
machine just
style.
doing DDoS. I mean, like
DDoS. Well, that's a little
that's
lame. That's
really
too lame.
DDoS.
But-
No, I think they exploit
But
0
the influx
days.
is large enough. It
What's
would cause
zero?
damage.
Whatever you're saying.
That's like so a known released bug that lets you exploit something is like a 0 day bug. What do they call it? That.
I don't know what kids nowadays doing.
So it would let you do remote execution on like a person's machine, which would let you just basically take control of it, right?
Yeah, how do they get access?
So
I'm
one of the
confused.
biggest
What is
ones
it
is
again?
always Java on the web.
Uh-huh.
So for Java applets, which most people don't even run, or Flash. Flash had a lot of them too.
Yeah.
Anything that basically you go to on the web, and then it's basically a virtual machine
And
on
you can
the
execute
web.
the program.
Yeah, there are a lot of ways that if you let a virtual machine run on your machine, it has a way to get through to your
They have
actual
to have
machine,
access.
right? There's like a just any way to get to your other memory or any way to try to
I'm
get some execution.
So if there's you go onto a virtual machine to get to the program. Is that what you said?
Yeah, so okay, so you know like emulators, right?
Yes.
So a virtual machine,
It's basically an emulator.
yeah, an emulator, but it's basically
I know what a virtual machine is, but I
Yeah.
don't understand why that makes it easy to hack.
because you're
Just give you
basically
a lot of
just your
access.
computer is emulating a whole entire computer.
Uh-huh. But it's
And
not
then-
emulating somebody else's, like, actual system. Is that
No,
what
no.
you're
So
saying?
it's emulating
Yeah,
a computer.
It's just like...
And
this
all
is
you
a
have to do is
pretend
go
Windows
from that
95.
computer to the real computer emulating it. So there are usually holes.
Oh,
There are
I see
often
what you're
holes
saying.
where you go
When
from the virtual to the real. So you go to
when
their
somebody
website.
else has a virtual machine running it, you can go from the virtual machine to their actual computer.
Exactly. And then you can cause them to execute code that does
I get
something that you want them to do.
Da, da, da.
That makes sense. That makes sense if you're on their virtual machine. You can somehow get from the virtual machine to their computer.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
It's what the vast majority of them turn out to be.
Huh.
What I do feel like they're missing is like they always show like, oh, hacking into mainframe is so cool. But you know, it will actually be a little reminiscent if I see the good old SQL injections and all that.
Oh, SQL injection?
Yeah, because that is supposed to happen during that time, right? What people still using the SQL as their database
now.
Is that what
I
people
mean,
would
we
have
use SQL
up
at
if
work.
they're hacking things?
Well, the difference is you don't do raw queries.
right?
So
But
you
like,
have an ORM
yeah,
layer
but like
that-
say back in my around time in maybe like a high school or something. There's a lot of websites that just do pretty raw
Yeah,
code. They even
anything-
send like password in.
a lot coded by amateurs could still today be really poorly
Yeah,
done.
but it's like now people does it.
There are
hopefully
frameworks
more
generally
that
that there's basically you use a framework. A framework basically protects you against any SQL injection.
I remember way back when, Nick, there was some like hacker test we did, like how much can you hack or something.
Uh-huh.
And I remember I could do like the basic like anything to do with HTML hacking. So it was,
Yeah.
like the first 4 or 5, and beyond that it was just like, what in the world is? I have no idea.
I remember getting past a few. They were just like
Yeah.
What?
They were very.
a lot of them were unvalidated input. So,
Oh.
like there are inputs on HTML. You pick 1, 2, 3, or 4. But
you can also send out
you-
the image link with their size to be -1, and then causing the browser to crash.
No, not that. Like, so you could pick like if you pick one thing's on an HTML form and send it, it'll be sent, right?
Yeah,
But you can go and edit the HTML to send something else.
true.
Most of them turned out to be that.
Yeah, like
a lot of people.
admin equals
Oh,
admin.
and another one was you could take JavaScript and put it on like a web page, like, and then they wouldn't. So, like, if I wrote a forum myself and wasn't smart about it, I could write JavaScript to post, and the JavaScript would actually get executed once I posted it. So you could,
Hijack the web page.
yeah, basically, you could say "fuck you all," ha ha ha, like a text box that popped up and said that, or something like that.
Yeah, well, usually just like reach.
I miss the wild west of the web, you know, the old days where you
Dude.
could do dumb shit.
Yeah.
The what's it called? UFC Pass. So like the application you use to watch UFC fights and stuff that you subscribe to, like you got to subscribe to it. Somebody caught that somebody that works for them put in a Bitcoin miner, so they're using whoever downloaded the app and stuff, they're using it as a Bitcoin miner. I'm wondering how many programs I have that's probably mining shit for people.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than advertising, right? You don't have to rely on the person to click a thing.
That's kind of like...
You gotta get a lot to be able to mine Bitcoin, though. It's not even Bitcoin. It's not Bitcoin. They're mining,
Well, yeah, they don't mine Bitcoin.
I think it's Monero.
Yeah.
So it's one
That's
that
true.
is more dependent.
They actually do say it's not usually Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But, like, honestly, like you said, I'm kind of fine with it. If it's, like, a program that I use a lot, but I don't pay for it in any way...
Yeah, it's a way to pay them.
I feel like that's fair, yeah, like, okay. Like,
I wasn't using those
use a little
CPU
Bitcoin
cycles
mining.
anyways.
But they could just use your data, though. Like, you do actually pay for data on your phone.
A lot of it's more computational.
Unless I'm on
though.
Wi-Fi.
Well, they don't. Well, they don't.
And
have a
that
turn
app
off
has
set
to be
for that.
open to be mining, too.
What's that?
What?
I have to be using the app for it to be mining, unless it
Well,
somehow mines in the background.
you don't know, right? They could just send out the background process to do that.
But usually phones have like things running in
But
the
I'm
background.
saying you only, if you find it, will you send any data? So it's mostly just CPU they're spending. Your CPU.
But I don't get it. Like, The apps can create a background thread even when you're not using it, and then that will still
Not on the
use
web.
CPU. Okay, fine. If it's a web application,
Yeah, that's what
they
they're
have
usually doing.
restrictions.
Yeah,
Mostly the web.
that's usually that.
I mean, probably now if you download a bunch of shareware and shady shit, probably does that too. And yeah, you could do a background app and just do that.
Yeah.
And that would be shitty. Because I might be using those cycles when I'm playing a game, and I want those, right?
Oh, not just like.
But if you're browsing the internet, like, your CPU is way overpowered for browsing the internet.
Yeah, that's true.
No?
You know what's funny is my laptop's
I
so
don't know.
crappy now. Like,
They
to play
have to
Hearthstone,
get
I have to
my
use my phone
consent.
because it's better
That's-
as
it's
better
easy for
processor.
that.
I need a new
Oh.
laptop.
You women, you want consent for everything. Can't mine bitcoins. Can't jerk off
jerk
with
off
in front of you. Jesus.
No.
Can't get away with anything.
Nope. Of course not.
Permission.
Yeah, women's are basically like Unix machine. Everything needs permission.
Ooh, can I get your pseudo? Can I get
That is
pseudo
the
on
Fuck
nerdiest.
you, no pseudo.
That is the
Oh,
nerdiest
pseudo
damn
for you.
joke I've ever heard.
Pseudo
Yes.
make me a sandwich.
Everything requires permission. Oh my god.
Yeah, you have to be root.
So what else is going on? I was thinking, you know what we should do? We should do like start making segments, like
Segment?
what's going on in local news type stuff.
We should. This
Oh!
could stand a little structure. Not every time, but sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like add a little structure to it. Which brings me, I'm sure you didn't hear the news about Mansfield.
Oh, what's
no.
going on?
What's going on in Mansfield?
Hold on, I gotta bring it up so I have the actual article.
It must be
was on my
juicy.
Facebook. It's hilarious. It's so.
Is there another
Midwestern.
dog fucker? That was in Shelby.
That was Shelby.
I know.
Oh, that's hilarious. Is there another dog fucker? Probably. I don't know if
don't
he's
know,
been
man.
caught.
Why do
There
you care so
probably
much?
is. Alright.
So it's
So-
not a dog fucker.
From WMFD. You remember WMFD, right?
Oh,
The
shit.
Big,
Yeah,
big
you're
local
taking me
news
back.
channel.
Never heard of it.
Mansfield declares October 29th through November 4th Porn Awareness Week.
What? The heck? Is
Oh,
that thing?
I'm very aware of porn already.
Well, what's
I'm a little too aware of porn.
The wording of that is so poor. I think it's like the dangers of porn. And
Oh,
like how it
okay.
ruins. I think that's their whole point, but it's kind of like
I see.
cancer awareness. Like to word it that way is like, who the fuck doesn't know about cancer yet? Like, why do you always call it
Yeah.
Awareness Week?
I don't know. I think the whole thing
Sounds pretty stupid to me.
the whole thing is for the executives that market it to get paid.
I didn't read all the article. Area pastors from 66 congregations throughout Richland County on July 22nd, 2015 called for a day of prayer, repentance, and fasting from the sin of immorality, which includes the use of pornography.
I'm gonna call for a day of masturbation on the same day.
We should. Oh my
Except
god.
the thing is, everyone was already gonna do it anyways.
Yeah, but the that's true. That is true.
Well,
The
you're
sad
gonna
thing
call
is,
it
it's like
masturbation
our
awareness
actual
day?
commissioner and mayor declared this.
Man.
Hold on, listen to this sentence. I think whoever wrote this had a nice fun with it here. This week, Richland County's Board of Commissioners and Mansfield Mayor Tim Thieker declared October 29th through November 4th as Porn Awareness Week, a hard push against the pornography industry in conjunction with the White Ribbon against
Maybe you
pornography.
should push harder.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard pool during
A
that
hard
week.
push. Gonna have a nice hard tug. That's what I'm gonna totally do now. I think I'm just gonna see if I can masturbate every single day
Yeah,
of that
masturbation week. A hard pool towards what you do pretty much every week anyways.
week. A hard pull. It's really not gonna take that much. That much pushing. Oh god, that's so ridiculous. But isn't that like kind of shows kind of what Mansfield area
Yeah.
and the issues it has.
I don't know,
The
man.
setting, like,
Bible
everyone,
So
Belt.
weird.
I think everyone good moves out of that region, or small regions in general. Like, how many people out of our graduating classes that went to college then
Yeah.
went back to Shelby, Ohio, or Mansfield, Ohio?
That went to
I mean,
college and went back? Dude, I don't know anybody.
Yeah, no one would go back. Exactly.
Yeah.
But the people that graduated high school and didn't go to college probably stayed. So
Yeah.
imagine that for, let's say, 20 years from when we were there. Because that was
sure.
true for our oldest brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 20 years of that, what do you think is going to happen to the demographics and the voting population there? It's not exactly the cream of the crop
Yeah, it's also not
populating those cities.
It's after 20 years. I bet you it's going to be way different though with non-millennials there. Or
I don't
with
even know if that
millennials
place is
there,
going to
I mean.
exist in 20 years.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know, man.
That's the point.
It always feels like the the housing price here is crazy. It may not be such a bad idea just to buy up the land.
Yeah.
the housing
No, just stay
in
in the
Mansfield
county.
is super fucking cheap, but it's falling apart because of heroin. So it's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And a
you
cheap
can get a
house
cheap
right next-
house in a neighborhood where nobody can afford a house.
Cheap house and convenient access to heroin. If those are good selling points to you,
Fine.
Mansfield is
Fine.
the place.
Fine.
I literally had a Lyft rider the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just talking about where we're from and stuff, and he said Belleville. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm from Mansfield area. And I was like, really, Shelby? And he was like, why'd you move? And I was like, there's nothing to do. And he's like, unless you like heroin, there's plenty of that there. It's like, it's just, that's what there is. That's pretty much it in that area is drugs.
Mm.
What else? What really fun place can you think of to go in Mansfield, Ohio? Or Shelby? I actually thought of one.
What?
Mansfield or Shelby?
Yeah, like a fun place, like a destination or something you could do regularly there.
I don't. You know what? I think actually shows how awful that place is. Isn't the mall in Mansfield now like a hospital or something? They have some
Yep.
sort of fucking.
Yeah,
Like
part of the
how-
mall became a big hospital.
How depressing is that? There aren't
'Cause it
enough
makes more money than
teenagers
a
to
mall.
go for commerce in a mall.
The
They turn
mall
it into
there
a hospital.
is constantly struggling to have shops
Yeah.
last.
Yeah,
The only
when
ones
Chloe
that
and I
last
went
are,
there
like, the
last
top
year,
10.
it was the most
surprised.
depressing shit I've ever
really
seen in
is.
my life.
Yeah.
It is
And
pretty sad.
because I was about to say, oh, we used to, like 15 years ago, I would have said the mall. And that's what brought that memory back, was when we were going there last year, and it was like,
'Cause
oh
they actually
my
used to
God.
have things.
not only is this deserted, but the few people that are here feel like, I think they're contemplating suicide. I think that guy on the bench is like, maybe I just end it. Or maybe some heroin. Whichever.
Yeah, that's true. It really is a sad mall to walk through. It's
Oh,
a sad
yeah.
sight
Yeah.
to see how much stuff is just closed and shut down. And like you said, half of it's a goddamn hospital.
Yeah. What the fuck, man? It wasn't like that 20 years ago when we were there, but I guess, like I said, 20 years of this trend, and that's what it turns into.
Yeah. It's only getting worse, though, because more hospitals, more urgent cares are taking over because all the money's
Well,
in that right now.
like I said, you, me, we left. We're not that old. All the younger smart people get the fuck out. The younger people that stay are mostly doing heroin, so they're gonna need the doctor too. And then it's the old people; they need the doctor.
Yeah,
So
it's
you
true.
know, it's mostly
That's
a
like the
heroin
only
and
market they
doctor-based
have.
economy.
Yeah, mostly.
You say that, but it's so true. That
Yeah.
probably is a lot of the economy. Walmart, probably.
And you just work at Walmart to get enough money for heroin.
Like, I'm wondering how long a new restaurant can last in the area. Like, you know, you got your few people that... You do have a small population there that are smart people that just, you know, they're the type that like to stay in their neighborhood they grew up in, right? You got that small
No.
population of people there.
No, I think everyone's looking for a way out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't think that's true. There's plenty of people that run businesses there that want to fix the place up, that have good jobs, but they
Good
want to
jobs,
stay there
really?
'cause that's where their family is at.
It's hard.
I don't know.
Jesus, did you see that town? Named their own town Amazon, just hoping that Amazon could move in to improve their town.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that? That's just
hilarious.
sad.
Okay. So Amazon is trying to find a new place for its
Second headquarters.
headquarters, right?
Yeah.
And they sent out, the guidelines to try to have other cities submit. Like, there were 100 cities that had the same, Alexa, where should Amazon put their second headquarters? And then they say the name of that city joke. It's like, oh, that's so not original.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. But you can tell like how desperate people are trying to get big companies to move in so that they could have a steady population of young people.
I think
I'm
Mansfield
pretty
should
sure,
submit to Amazon, and they should be like, Alexa, where should Amazon put their second headquarters? And Alexa says, well, only if they start selling heroin online should they put it in Mansfield. Because then that would make fucking sense.
Yeah, right. Like they would ever go to Mansfield, fucking Ohio. How crazy would that be?
Seriously, say like if you are a politician, what would you do to revive that place? Essentially, if you ever
Purge.
had a chance.
No, I'm kidding. Nothing. I don't think... That's the thing. I don't know if not just that place, small towns in general.
Yeah, small towns.
Like, are they salvageable?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, they don't really
They
make that much
exist
sense.
because of manufacturing job, right? Like even now, the manufacturing job are slowly coming back to U.S., but most of them going to be streamlined and operated by robots, just like the Tesla factory.
I think it wasn't really manufacturing. It's more farming that made small towns. Yeah. Like, manufacturing still, some would be in small towns, but most of it would be in, like, Cleveland, because you need a network of, like, you can go get these parts shopped just down the street.
Like close to the railroad or something? Yeah,
exactly. So it was mostly farming that these small towns started. Like, you'd have a bunch of farms, and then these farmers needed a central location to go to. And so a small town would just
different to
sprout up.
say like European small towns, because European small towns are still not that small because people have to live close by, because when the time formed, the automobile is not invented. Yeah. Right. So it's still kind of close together.
But okay.
Yeah.
But still, so the point is, I think 200 years ago, like 95% of the U.S. was farmers. 90%, not just the U.S., 95% of the entire population was farmers.
Okay.
And every year it's been like constantly lower and lower. Now it's like, I think less than 1%, like 0.1%. Exactly so there's no reason for these towns to exist at all. Well, they tried keeping them like somewhat alive by putting manufacturing in, and then that started dying too. So, the manufacturing was trying to save these places, and then now that's even, going away.
I think the big issue is commute. It's always commute, right? You have places that need workers, and the places that need workers is usually of a high rent and the housing crisis. You just couldn't find a reasonable place to live.
I think it's basically just a network effect.
If that we have, hypothetically, a transportation method where someone can go to their workplace, a snap of finger, then people will not live crowded together.
Yeah, no. But even autonomous cars, you're not getting snap of a finger. You're gonna have an hour.
I mean just slowly. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if small towns are going to last the way they're going. It doesn't seem like they will.
But suppose the autonomous cars come here, maybe, like Chloe was saying, you can commute way easier. Why not live in a place where you can have, 30 acres?
Yeah, that's a bit extreme.
I think there's probably more also tax policy, to get really nerdy. Is like, I think a lot of these places, the tax policy isn't updated enough. So, like, if you buy 100 acres of an area,
Yeah.
like, you have to pay property tax on that as if it were a farm. They're going to assess that as, like, you could be making a shitload of money off these 100 acres if you ran a farm. Not a shitload, you could be making money, period, I guess. But realistically, like, no one wants a farm anymore because you can actually make money off of it. So you shouldn't really assess property taxes on large acreage, because that's going to discourage me from buying, like, a bunch of acreage. Because
That
I
makes
wouldn't use
sense.
it to farm, obviously.
But they're gonna have to eventually change that. Like, eventually that's gonna have to change for people to want that land.
Yeah, because the
and
government's
use
so fast to move.
True that.
Oh shit, dude! I was just randomly clicking on Reddit. It's like a virus now. Brand new, my favorite band. The lead singer is making a statement about allegations of sexual harassment and shit.
Oh yeah, they have
He's
to
been
jump on that bandwagon.
brand new. The lead singer was
Lead
sexually
singer,
harassing.
Brand new. Yeah, it's only on brandnew.com because nobody knows who the fuck Jesse Lacey is unless you're a big fan of Brand
Oh,
New.
you know what?
But
I
it's
really
like
feel-
a virus that's spreading everywhere of people like, yeah, this person sexually harassed me, this person. It's
Here's the
like,
thing.
Jesus.
I feel like I should just go out and start grabbing random ass and titties now because I don't want to be left out.
Oh Jesus! If all the people I look up to do it, I don't know. Is it also just like, oh, is it really this rampant? Or is it just women feel like no matter what level of sexual harassment it was, it's like called on to like reveal it no matter what?
Yeah,
Like
I
what
have
was going
no
on
idea.
before these? It's just crazy. Like how many people are we going to hear come out with this person sexually harassing me, this person sexually
I
harassing
never
me?
had a high expectation of Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that there are so many people come out, I still think that's only like 5%.
Yeah.
Which means there's 95%
Exactly.
of ongoing.
I think there's plenty
and
getting
hidden.
away with it. How long did Bill Cosby get away with it? 30 years?
Yeah. Long time.
Yeah. Well, this is apparently for Jesse Lacey, one person. I don't know. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And also, it's a band. It's a band who went on tour, so I could easily see that happening.
Mm.
And it's kind of funny because now everyone's gonna reread all their lyrics and
Do you
stuff.
think any of
about
them
all
are
this.
false?
I think it has to be somewhat. Like, well, this one he's actually made a statement saying that it's true. So
Oh, okay. Well, when the guy's like, oh yeah, shit, I didn't do that. Whoopsie. Sorry about that.
And I don't know. It just says sexual assault, so I don't know what like level that is.
I was just thinking, like, 300 years ago, there were a lot of, she's a witch! And like plenty of people corroborated
Kind of the
that.
reverse. Right? That's what I'm worried. Is it like a
Yeah.
reverse? She's a witch happening.
Remember
Exactly.
the witchcraft? Boom.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But Louis C.K. said it was true too for the 5 women. So
Right now,
So far.
he's a masturbator!
He's a masturbator! He's a harasser! Oh my god. That's too good.
I still want to hear a deposition where they're like, "Did you finish?" Where did
I do want to know. That's what I always want to know.
I always want to know the details of weird stuff like that. Like, how does that happen? Like,
Yeah, exactly. It comes back to like
what's the start?
I think last podcast we were talking about how to say goodbye. So how to say goodbye is awkward enough. How to say goodbye after you've just jizzed. Like how awkward that is. Like, oh, yeah. So bye now. And then you just wipe it on their clothes and then walk out.
Yep. It's kind of like people who have troubles with saying goodbye because it makes them anxious aren't the type of people to randomly just sexually harass other people because it
would make it even more awkward.
Yeah, that takes a lot of effort socially to just start harassing people. So I'm going to whip out my dick now and I'm going to masturbate. How do you finish? That's why we analyze it so much because we can't even. How do you say goodbye at a party? And we're trying to analyze, like, wait, how in the fuck do you start just whipping out your dick and jacking it off in front of
I think from now on, all Hollywood parties should be hosted. Before you entry, they give you a form and check if you have those privileges.
Oh my god, that's probably going to be true. I will not come out with sexual harassment allegations for anybody at this party. I bet you that will happen.
Waiver. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my god. That's probably going to happen now.
I'm sure it's going to happen.
But then can you... That would be dangerous, because then people would be like, well, now I can whip out my dick and just start slapping people with it.
Yeah. Wouldn't you go in there assuming people are going to pull their dick out?
Of course.
Of course!
You need to read the contract before you sign it, okay? I mean,
true.
It's fucking a Hollywood party. What are you expecting? Right? It's not exactly...
They're all masturbators.
Going to a masturbation party. What's funny is Louis C.K. had a lot of jokes about masturbating, so it might just be a weird obsession thing with him.
Or maybe you're okay with observing someone masturbating in front of you as long as the set masturbation has no physical touch with you.
Yeah, it's still just weird. Here's what I want to know. Okay, Louis C.K. is a really gross, disgusting-looking guy. What if, even if George Clooney or, like, picture whoever...
Remember
Chloe,
the 5% that I said?
Yeah.
The 5% was ugly as shit.
Yeah, but think of the most attractive man you've ever seen.
Okay.
Would you still even want to see him just jerk it in front of you?
Oh. I'm actually thinking about it pretty hard. And no, as a woman, I like the men with clothes on, not off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would think too. Like, there's no...
I mean, that special motion just pretty disgusting. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter
I
how
don't-
good looking you are, it's just disgusting.
Yeah, and you can't, like...
Just like witnessing a really hot woman pooping. Okay?
Exactly!
That's
That's a perfect analogy! Like, you can't be sexy when you're, like, stroking it. You just have a face on it.
You have that face like, oh,
Despite
yeah.
the Rule 47 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think vast majority people...
That's
maybe
very
I'm just
true.
speaking for me.
No, I think that was a perfect analogy.
Okay, thank you.
It's like a woman pooping. It's like, you can't be attractive during that.
It's just-
like,
it's
no
just-
matter
it's not gonna
how
work.
hot you are.
And it comes with a smell, too.
But you know
Unless
what?
somebody is specifically into
Exactly, that's the thing.
That's
There
the
are
47.
fetishes. You can go on the internet right now, and some people really want to see it.
Yes.
Huh.
Remember? What's that guy's name? Kyle's mom. Kyle's dad.
Yeah.
Rather than being an internet troll,
Mhm.
I actually enjoy being peed on. Remember the South Park? It's last season, by the way. Yeah. So they do exist. That's my point.
Yeah. They do exist. You know what's also with all this stuff? It kind of brings up that point, especially since a lot of these people are artists in some sort, is artists are fucked up. They have some weird shit behind them, you know? So it's like not too surprising for a lot of them.
Here's a weird thought.
It's like, can you separate their artwork or whatever they did from the person and still enjoy their content?
Or are they the
After you
same
know these
person if they remove their fucked up background, or could they create the same level of art they've been creating now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, I was thinking... you know, it's almost... This is so crazy, it's hard for me to believe that...
Oh, dude.
that people are masturbating in front of you. Like, you're like, it's so insane. So I wonder, could you get away with it by, like, upping the unbelievable factor? Like, what if a woman came to you and said, like, this guy, he came put on an alien mask, hopped on one foot, masturbated while reciting the Lord's Prayer. Like, what? That didn't happen.
What?
Like,
No,
you're making shit up. You're pulling my leg.
no. At
So
some
I wonder
point-
if you just get really weird with it.
at some point, it's just becoming a performing art.
This is artwork, goddammit.
It's just art.
Wait, did you watch
Just
Stranger
need
Things 2?
interpretation.
We've seen the first episode so far.
yeah.
That's it. Don't ruin it for us.
Well,
It's actually pretty cute to see 11.
let me just put it this way. I don't think the person reporting that would have to add in all those details. They would just say this person masturbated in front of me. I don't think they have to include the details of alien masks reciting the Lord's Prayer.
No, this is where you get the
But
clip.
I'm
on a
saying,
pogo
when,
stick.
when a
Title
woman
bait.
says, like, this is all these things the guy did, like, I'm gonna be like, come on, no they didn't. Like, that's so ridiculous.
I don't care.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want.
And you know what? You should,
Sure.
like, tape, like, a laser coming out of your, like, in your
might as
underwear,
well.
and you can have, like, that coming out, and they'll be like, and the light came out of his fly before he pulled his dick out. And
Oh,
then
that's like
I'm
an aimer for his semen.
And then he
Yeah.
say, "May there be light."
Yeah.
Boing.
Just make it so unbelievable, and
I
you'll
just
get
kinda
away with
picture-
it.
This is the way my brain works, but when you
I'm
said
fine.
that, I kind of actually pictured like a scope on a dude's wiener as he's jerking it off.
See,
with, like,
that's
a
another
laser.
detail to add. Put a scope on your dick. They're like, yeah, he had a scope on his penis.
Hey, I have a better idea, guys. I have a better
Uh-huh.
idea. Put 2 cameras on your dick,
Mm-hmm.
and as you masturbate, and you can shoot up a VR movie called
Oh shit!
The view
It's like you could
angle
be
of
the
a
semen
dick.
coming out. You can see it from its point of view.
That's,
Oh
When they
yeah,
have
totally.
that's a little...
Those
Have you
roller
ever
coaster
wondered
point of view.
what
But the
be a
thing
dick
is, that's
really means?
evidence, though. At some point, you'll point your dick up to your face, and it'll show the alien mask. He's like,
oh my
audio,
God,
and
it
they'll
is
be
true.
reciting the Lord's
No,
Prayer.
no. According to a recent trend, you're just gonna see an emoji. This is how they cover each other's face now.
The Lord's Prayer would be kind of like Pulp Fiction reciting all that shit before you just jack off.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
And I will have my vengeance.
I shall have my vengeance.
Oh god. I'm wondering,
I think I know how to get away
Wait.
with sexually harassing women now.
prediction right here on the Discourse.
Mm-hmm.
I have a prediction. There will be at least 3 more of these that come out by the end of the year. 3 more big stars.
Do you have,
male
like,
stars.
any specific celebrity you think will be
I
definitely
don't.
doing it?
That's my official prediction. Now, if I have to speculate,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm trying to think of some celebrities. See, I think Tom Cruise is too hot and too powerful to be outed.
Yeah.
I think he's gay.
I think he's too Scientologist. They have control over their shit.
Yeah.
No, but I think he's so high up on the Scientology
Chain.
ladder, I don't think it matters. That's a good question. I'm trying to think of
Spielberg?
celebrities. No, he
George
doesn't seem like
Lucas?
a creeper.
Mm.
George Lucas, no, he's like that nerdy type where he probably
No, I don't see
don't-
Lucas.
too anxious
Estimate.
to do
He's-
such a weird shit.
I don't know, man. I sincerely don't know.
What is a big Hollywood
Like, think of big
person?
names.
That's what I'm trying to think of, but all of them I'm coming up with are like Kevin Spacey. Like, if you told me that beforehand, I'd be like, yeah, I could see him maybe having some
Yeah, he
weird,
comes off a
weird
little
stuff.
creepy.
Yeah, but like George Clooney, he's too good looking. Too many women would accept it.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, same thing. No, I don't see that.
No, I think he could.
I think he's pretty cool.
He was already accused of grabbing some girl's ass. But that's
Yeah,
basically it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
He doesn't
I don't
come
see
off
it.
as pretty normal to me.
I don't see it. Man, that is a good question because I can't think of anybody right off the top of my head of
Mr. Rogers.
who's like a big actor nowadays too. Because like we're thinking.
Chris Pratt.
I almost feel like
Yeah.
so many stars now are more like TV stars.
You have to play a superhero in movies to be a star nowadays.
Okay, so let's think But the problem with all the superheroes are they're like super famous.
The Hawk
Usually.
pulled out his big green dick and jerked off.
Kevin Hart. There's a really famous person. I can see that.
I'm sorry, I don't.
But you know what?
Heard of him. What?
Well, never mind.
Okay.
Kevin Hart, comedian too, because he has that weird personality. He probably has weird stuff. Dave Chappelle, he's probably put his dick on some feet or something.
That was such a weird part of his stand-up, but
I thought that was hilarious.
It was funny.
That's
yeah,
kind of what makes comedy funny is when you just tell the truth. You're like, oh, what the hell? Did not see that coming. His stand-ups were great, though. Really enjoyed those.
You mean recent ones?
Like, if you weren't, like, if you didn't know about Bill Cosby, like, at this point, like, to have a joke, you would have said something like Bill Cosby, because he was always, like, a stand-up guy, right?
No, because when you have that I'm perfect stand-up personality, I always think you're probably a creeper on the inside, because nobody's like that. Like, you can't be this good Christian, like, value person when you're
in that case,
hardcore about it.
I think Bob Ross was totally raping people. He was talking about that happy tree and then going and raping.
To be fair, he was like in the military beforehand, so he probably did have some shit, but he specifically developed that personality
and you know
after
what?
the military.
I bet while he was doing it, he was like, don't worry, this is just a little happy little rape. It's just a little secret. It's just a little happy secret rape.
Dude,
How about this?
terrible.
Do you think it will ever happen that a female will be ever accused?
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
Totally.
Yeah.
You think so?
They won't like him
I don't
rape.
think
They'll
so.
just grab some guy's ass.
Oh,
I don't think
but
that'll
I
happen.
guess we'll be too
I don't think
embarrassed to
that'll
come out. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I got some for you.
Okay.
Robert Downey Jr. Johnny Depp.
Nah, I don't think so.
I think so.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Nah, still not weird. They don't come off as weird.
A weird.
Adam
huh?
Sandler.
Adam Sandler, maybe, but still nah.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen definitely did.
Woody Allen, yeah.
Woody Allen's like,
that's actually known.
Of course he did.
Yeah. I think that's actually kind of a known thing that he's done weird things too.
And who's that guy who's actually escaped to France?
Oh, Polanski.
Yeah, Plansky. Good movie though.
Liam Neeson, you think he's taken anybody into sexual harassment?
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't know. What we see on the TV is always a public facade. What they are, actually who they are underneath, is unknown.
If you
Yet
think
to be discovered.
I hope they really start, like, going as far as they can, and, like, in the commercial, like, the Kool-Aid man that busts through the wall, he totally raped somebody. I just want to admit, and in the Kool-Aid man costume, too.
If you think a female, an actress might be outed, who would be the actress?
The actress?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Meryl Streep.
No. She's not. I think it's going to be one that just is not much of a looker. She's not that great looking, but she's not
most
bad.
actresses are.
Yeah. So it's going to be,
Well,
what's
let
that?
me rewind a little bit.
Uh-huh.
She's a good friend with Harvey Weinstein. Yes.
Oh.
And then
Who is?
Meryl Streep.
Oh. You think they were getting together and sexually harassing people?
I don't know, but it's
Conniving
something
together
of
on
your,
their sexual
choice
harassment?
of
If
friends,
anything,
don't you?
Meryl Streep is an old actress and probably has been sexually harassed.
You know what?
Like her whole
Yeah,
life.
that's true.
I think it'll be Daniel Day-Lewis, but it was only to get into a role anyways. like he was going to play a masturbator, and he's like, I got to masturbate in front of women now.
When he plays Weinstein in a movie.
Exactly.
Weinstein.
There it is. That's it.
realistic
To
invention.
get into character, he had to do it. When he played Lincoln, he was grabbing some asses because that's what he thought Lincoln would do.
Upstandicism, man. Upstandicism.
When you think about it, though, I bet you every president is sexually harassed.
Every president?
Every one of them.
Every single one.
Everyone.
I don't know. Some of
I
them
would
don't
think-
need to try though. Like
A
Reagan.
lot of what I would think is
Yeah.
just
I
because
think a
back
lot
in
of
the
it's
day it was probably
consensual.
more common of what we would define as sexual harassment. Back then it wouldn't be defined that way.
Yeah, so,
Nowadays,
yeah,
it
I don't
would be.
think George Washington did. He had plenty of slaves to rape.
Yeah.
Same with Jefferson,
That's my
you
point.
know.
Is that not sexual harassment?
Where is it actually?
Where to draw
At
the
some
line,
point,
huh?
it's like, well, how much do you forgive for your heroes when it's like that's kind of accepted in their culture?
As
Like,
in he
you-
rapes but he saves?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, do you forgive George Washington if he did rape slaves because that's just the culture
I
he
don't
grew
know.
up in?
Why
That was
do you need to
commonplace.
forgive George Washington?
Not forgive, but do.
Okay, we
It's
don't
kind of
actually have evidence
Yeah.
that he raped slaves. We do have evidence that Jefferson actually not raped,
We
but had
do?
an affair with his slave.
Okay,
So it's not like she could say no.
but
Yeah,
like,
if you have a slave
why
and
do you
you-
think it's
yeah.
your position to forgive him?
Not forgive, but it's like, does that lessen the value of like what he did?
I mean, the value of what
You know,
he
like
did
right
is
now,
in
it's
your
like,
own
oh, this
opinion,
person's career's ruined.
I
This
mean, like,
person's
the
career's
Declaration
ruined.
of Independence is still true. The words in it. It's like if let's take it to the very far extreme. Like, if it came out Newton was a serial rapist, it doesn't mean gravity doesn't exist.
Exactly.
No,
All right?
but-
You know, it's like...
But they wouldn't
you kinda-
be put up on a pedestal as much anymore. You know, just like with
Which,
Yeah,
which they
um,
shouldn't be.
Yeah.
What you do and you're good at your job is one thing. Hold to your moral high point, that's another thing, right? I found too many people got confused with this. Somebody is a good actor or good director doesn't necessarily mean they're a good person. They're just very good at doing one things. Right?
yeah.
So there's
That's-
no
that's kinda what I
purpose of
think
holding
about with
anyone into
artists.
that
It's
high
like-
ground.
Just because you're a good comedian and a clean comedian doesn't mean you're a good person. You might just rape some people.
It's just very, very bad human intuition. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's
It's called the halo effect in psychology, right?
Yeah,
You think
yeah.
you're good at one
Yeah.
thing,
Oh,
one
that's
person's
true,
good at
yeah.
one thing,
Yeah.
you think they're good at everything.
So they're
Yeah.
good and kind and everything. They never do anything
It's
bad.
exactly like
So
oh,
people
you're an
thought
actor, so
Louis
you'll be a
C.K.
good
was so
politician.
good at masturbating, he must be a great comedian.
Uh,
No, wait a second. I think I got this a little backwards.
I'm not sure that adds up right.
I thought that's how his career happened. I thought they were like, this guy can jerk off.
My
really
God.
under so much pressure, and he can just not awkward at all. He's probably pretty funny on stage.
Did you see his backstroke?
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Well, anyway, and also another thing about the whole like acting, right? You're in the show business, so you're constantly being put on the spotlight. So you do something good, a lot more people will see you do good, right? And say the same thing, like people good at something doesn't necessarily mean they're a good person or a bad person.
Yeah.
But people who in the show business are more likely to get this halo effect.
Yeah. It also has another effect too, where it's just because somebody has done something horribly wrong doesn't mean they can't have done something good.
Exactly. Take Polanski, for example, right? Yeah, he did terrible thing. Doesn't mean that he's not a good director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. But
And Hitler was a good artist too. Damn it.
at what point do you think they should be able to get away with it? Like Norman Borlaug saved 1 billion people, right? Or
Oh, he should be
hypothesized.
able to rape at
Yeah.
least 1
Does
million
that-
bitches.
Yeah, exactly. Should he get at least like a 1 billion get out of jail free for rape cards?
Like, how do we balance the equation? Like, do we need auditors to come in and be like, well, you saved 1 billion people. You can at least commit this many felonies, this many misdemeanors.
Yeah.
I
I feel like if
Question.
there's like a car and it's about to hit somebody, and I push them out of the way before they get hit, that means I get to murder one person.
So, like,
I
the
can
opposite
totally
of
murder
things
one
like
person.
Hitler would have to have been the Burlog to have any kind of good quality, right? Since he was so bad, what good could he have done to outweigh that?
Mm-hmm.
That's really hard to outweigh the bad part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say like you can't equal lives. Like one life and the 6 life, you can't just compare the numbers. 6 life is more important than 1 life. No, you can't.
We could. We could start doing like a. I actually kind of see this as part of the future where it's there's some kind of correlation to who you are and you have a number, like an actual worth, like not Facebook likes, but somewhat of an equivalent.
Oh, like that Black Mirror.
This person,
I can see this
how good you are
totally
to our
not gonna go
society. You literally have a number of this is your worth to the society. You can do things to increase it.
I thought that was dollars
Let
already.
me ask you something.
dollar bills.
So a
And
newborn
we kinda already
baby
do
who
that.
haven't done anything in the world, is there a total value
so.
of 0?
Because I think there might be artists
exactly.
or
Exactly.
something.
When a baby is born, you're like, it's 0, so you can toss them away. Maybe that's why abortion is okay. And you know what? When they
never
start,
said
when
abortion
they
is
start,
okay.
when they start pooping, it's like that's negative value. We should actually get rid of you because you're not doing a whole lot. You better start producing right the fuck now.
Because
man.
a baby will produce much happiness for the parents, so they start off on a positive scale.
Why does you care about the parents? Why is the parents as happy?
So that's their part of
quantified?
society.
Because they become
They're part of
happy,
society,
and if they're
so that
happy,
increases
they
their
make
happiness.
society happy.
See, it all
So
works out.
what about someone who gave birth but doesn't want to raise them?
Oh,
They
that
gave
kid
up
should
for
just be
abortion.
thrown away.
Negatives. Yeah. Garbage can.
Nah. This is so wrong.
The kid probably would have grown up to be a guy that masturbated in front of women anyway.
You see, I feel like a baby's value should be evaluated as their expected value. Then it's getting really, really tricky and complicated because it's really hard to evaluate someone who hasn't done anything in their life and what they will do for their life.
I think
right?
everyone knew my greatness was predestined.
Oh,
It was written in a prophecy.
prophecy, you say?
Oh my god.
I'm the chosen one. According to movies, almost
Are you the
everyone's
golden
the chosen
child?
one for something.
Oh my god, you're both walking.
The Golden Child.
Unbelievable.
What a great movie that was.
Great and it's ridiculous, but
Sarcastic.
It's a ridiculous 80s movie, but
yeah,
it is an
it's
awesome
very
movie.
80s.
Yes. But it was awesome.
You might like.
No.
It's really ridiculous.
I want a remake of that movie.
He travels to Tibet, and that scene was always hilarious. It's really ridiculous.
So he travels.
Well, there was all those murders going on, too. You gotta, like...
I barely remember this. I saw this last in the 90s, I'm sure. But I just always remember the scene where he's in Tibet and he does the I want to die.
Yeah.
Maybe
there
we
was,
should
like,
go back to
the,
the topic.
He had to, like, one of these challenge things he had was he had to walk across these, like, pillars that were basically, like, little telephone poles that he had to hop across without spilling a glass of water. And it was, like, a cool D&D thing where, like, eventually he realized if he drank the water, he would not spill a drop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was totally a
It's very
D&D
D&D-ish,
style thing.
yeah.
Oh, I forget.
And then there was the 4 goblins he encountered on the way.
And dude, I really want a D&D movie, like a really good D&D
Oh
movie.
yeah, you said the D&D movie. There was a shitty one, a really
good
fucking
D&D
shitty one.
So, I think we might have an equivalent because Magic the Gathering actually sold their rights. Like, they actually gave up the rights finally. Like, they have waited to give up their rights until they thought there was somebody who could actually make a good Magic the Gathering movie.
So who's
And they
making the
finally got
Magic
rid
the
of it.
Gathering movie?
Yeah, I'm
I don't
curious.
know.
So
I haven't seen
no,
it, but they've
the,
given
why
up the
they
rights.
were waiting until they found somebody that could make it. What they really mean is we were waiting until our revenue dropped and we had to do it.
No, actually, Magic's selling more than it used to.
I don't buy it. They're making
the other
numbers
problem
by
they
selling
had,
the rights.
actually, another big problem they had though was they've approached Hollywood before, but they said they don't have any like characters. There's nobody like popular that they can make a movie about.
You know what I think it should
name
be?
a character.
I think
You think?
it should be a bunch of hype, and then you go into the theater and you see it's just a bunch of really fat guys with their ass cracks showing playing cards. That's mostly the movie.
It's a documentary about ass cracks.
Magic Gathering.
The new plumber.
Plumber back.
But anyways, they actually, Magic the Gathering invented a new card type to address that problem, and that's part of the reason why they created that card type.
I'm sorry, to address the ass crack problem?
Yes, to address the ass crack problem.
Your ass crack is showing card?
To address that they have no heroes or people.
Oh!
Sorry.
The ass crack hero. Okay.
The ass crack. Oh my god. They're coming out with a new unset. I wonder if they'll have a card in relation to the ass cracks.
I mean, here's a
That'd be
lot of
hilarious.
problems with good video game and good movies. Video games, it's interactive.
Yeah. It's supposed to be you. You're the hero.
But
So
the
if you watch a movie, it's
need
not
to-
you.
No, movie need to have a strong storyline.
Magic
And
the
how the
Gathering has
characters develop.
books. They have books in character development.
Yeah, but
Are they any
it's-
good? I've never read any. I read a lot
Yeah,
of
they're
D&D
actually-
based books. Some were good, most were shit.
They're actually really good. It's actually pretty cool,
I don't
good
know.
stories.
I think like most of the video game doesn't have a very strong storyline.
Some do. There,
All right.
some of the
good
early
ones.
BioWare games, all the early BioWare games, before
come
they were
on,
bought
that-
by EA, they were good.
BioShock
think-
Infinity wasn't bad. I liked
I don't-
it.
I don't
Yeah,
play
Bioshock
enough
was
video games to comment on that, but I've heard.
Mario was an amazing story. I cried at the end where he found the princess. He finally found the princess after all those false
When he
starts.
finally got Bowser down.
Oh my god.
Okay.
All those twists was at the end of the one castle. He was like, "Sorry, princess. Sorry, Mario, but the princess is in another castle." It's such a
You
twist.
son of a
All
bitch.
7 times that it happened.
Oh my god.
Okay. Here's how I want to wrap this podcast up.
Okay.
Is it by Mario masturbating in front of people is going to be the next revelation?
Oh my god.
Yes. He's the one. He's actually been sexually harassing the princess this whole time.
As soon as
actually
he
doesn't
rescued
want
her. So the first dialogue was, you rescued me. The second dialogue was, I want to whip my dick out and jerk off. Do you mind? I went through all this trouble. I feel like I deserve it.
This is all I want.
Like, I went through all of this, and I feel like I earned it.
And all I need is a good jacket.
Yeah.
But
What do you want to
Oh.
end it on? I'm sorry.
I wanted to end it on final thoughts. Do you think this will ruin Louis C.K.'s career? Not Mario, but his jacking.
I think it'll ruin Louis C.K.'s career.
No.
Like, a lot of stuff got canceled now.
I don't
But
know
will a
why.
year down the road...
Yeah,
will
I
it
think
matter?
it'll be like a 2-year stint where there's basically nothing, and then he comes back, and the first, his stand-up in the comeback, he has to address the jerking off. And he has
Yeah, of
to,
course.
and it has to be super self-deprecating. And then he's
And it'll
okay.
be hilarious because it's Louis C.K. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I-
exactly what I think is going to happen.
I think the law should be enforced as they were supposed to. And whatever their job they're doing should not be
Oh, shit. Do you
affected.
think he'll have any repercussions,
But it's not the job, it's like people...
law-wise?
What's that?
Do you think he'll have any repercussions law-wise?
I don't know what the law is if you jerk off in front of someone. It's got to be sexual assault of some sense.
Evidence.
Yeah, I'm sure that's sexual
Yeah,
assault.
but,
Like, he could be
so-
considered a sexual predator at some point.
Is it... Let me ask, do you think it's worse if someone grabs your ass or tits
Uh-huh.
than
Yes.
if they just pull their
I
own
would think
dick out
so.
and jerk off in front of you and they... No cum on you. They completely clean. Never
Well, we don't
touch
know
you.
if he didn't come on them. or
I
not.
know,
We
but
don't
let's
know.
just assume.
Okay.
Is it
let's just
worse or
assume.
is it better because they never touched you?
Well, let me put it that way. As from a woman's perspective, I prefer no touching.
Yeah, that's
Whatever
what I
you
thought.
do,
That's what
it's your
I would
business.
assume.
Exactly.
You
It's
can close
weird.
your eyes.
Yeah.
You can walk away.
Yeah.
You can close your eyes. You can go to the bathroom.
No. I think
I don't
he
think
was
they
like
could
in,
walk away in this
oh,
situation.
again, this is my impression. I think he was in front of the door or something, and it's like, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You're watching me jerk it.
Yeah, I was about
Okay.
to say, I'm pretty sure this was a power move of
Yeah,
you're
like,
watching
you're
me
trapped and
masturbate.
you're
this
gonna
is
have to
All right,
sit
fine.
here.
You're forced to watch the fucking
Exactly, but
35
he's not
seconds of
grabbing you.
commercial on the YouTube.
Yeah.
You're comparing this to a commercial on YouTube?
I'm sorry. Some more
Where,
commercials.
where
are
was
really
that
bad.
skip ad button?
Oh, Jesus.
I mean,
Gotta watch
seriously,
another
like,
Louis C.K. masturbating
you
for
can
30
just-
seconds
you
before I
can
can
just
skip
look at your
video.
watch, it's like, you done yet?
I think,
I
I
mean,
mean,
I'm
that is
sorry,
a
it's
super
just-
uncomfortable position to be in. But I would think it'd be much worse to have somebody actually touching your body, invading
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what I thought.
On your body.
Like, out of all the ways I could think of to sexually harass somebody,
Yeah.
jerking you off in front of him is maybe the least bad.
I don't know. What is the least bad form
Okay,
of
like
sexual
flashing would be.
I think
we'd
we'd be using
Which one?
words towards
just
them.
a show, like no other. Like
Okay,
flashing.
just flash. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me.
No,
what about,
I think even
where does like?
just saying like, "Hey, babe, nice tits" or something like that
Okay.
would be actually the least.
Oh yeah, you're right. Where's upskirts or something? Like taking it, like sneaking a photo of somebody or something.
That's kind
No,
of
I feel
invasive.
offended.
That's pretty
But
invasive.
worse than touching?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Really? Worse
Yeah,
than
because
tou-
they could
because
spread
it's
that.
common.
Like,
photo.
they could share.
Because
that.
they can share it around.
Yeah.
They could.
I mean,
Okay.
if,
They could.
okay.
spread it.
So hypothetically, if you call someone to do that,
Mm.
you're try to fucking take that phone and smash it.
Mm.
You know, you maybe
I really
even go
don't think
less
our
and stab
laws
that
are
person,
set up to
but,
handle these.
like
Either.
there's different consequences on different levels,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I really don't think our laws have it categorized.
Okay,
I think
what
it's either
about-
sexual assault or not.
like-
He's
okay.
jerking it, and he videotapes your reaction to him jerking it.
Huh? That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Well,
I don't know.
That is a
I
really
thought
good
when
question.
you're jerking, you'll be pretty preoccupied. I don't know. Like, how can you
right.
keep?
Well, he
keep an
sets up a
erection?
camera.
You
He
have
puts
a-
it on you, and he goes, "You're gonna watch me masturbate now."
You have a good
And
point.
just-
Mm.
I don't know.
This is why you can't have set in stone laws.
Yeah.
I probably just froze.
We just need a sexual harassment and sexual assault levels, just like there's misdemeanor level 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm sorry, I just thought it was like D&D. Like I leveled up from Masturbator 1 to Masturbator 2.
That's terrible.
gained experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what I really want to try out, like a RPG that's set in like modern times.
Mm.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah. You got
By the way,
your,
we can end
you
this
got your job,
podcast,
you go,
so-
bing, achievement. Got your first job.
All right, we ending it
I
here.
gotta go. Yeah, I gotta get going. Later.
Okay.
A brown bear? Oh, I can fuck a brown bear up.
Fuck it up or kill it.
I don't know about kill. I don't know how big their necks are.
Dude.
If I ever start my own dojo, and this will never actually happen because I know nothing about martial arts, but if I do, I'm gonna base the entire system on what animal could you kill with your bare hands.
That's instead of belts. It's like you're at little domestic cat. That's
Yeah,
all you can kill.
exactly.
That's like your
You-
white belt.
Like toddlers can join, and you'd be like, "I think you could kill a mouse, maybe in the right conditions."
Yeah, not sure what
hilarious.
that means.
All right, are we dildoing? We haven't dildoed.
Yeah, we need a dildo.
Let's
All right.
go, though.